When an actor gives you a really great performance, it's your duty to be in the right spot to capture that performance. I mean, I did 2 TV movies with Anne Bancroft. And that woman, when she threw it out there, you just prayed you were in the right spot to catch it, because it was coming out. And you wanted to get that camera and just, you didn't want to screw it up.
Mm-hmm. When it comes to like different digital cameras, you look at digital cameras now, they're becoming like almost Kodaks in their way, where you can look like, hey, this is an Alexa sensor, there's a red sensor. DPs and other people that are colorists, we can go in and go, hey, we can tell the difference between the two. But now with the sensors becoming so much closer next to each other with the sensitivity and like the look and styles, it's becoming more to the LUTs and styles you can apply to it.
To do like with the storyboards, because sometimes if it's just like like a shot list or something, like a rough idea, a sketch, but some people think this has to be the frame. You know what I mean? They think like exactly, they compare it even to the monitor, like in a commercial. It's not, we're not selling anything, you know? It doesn't have to be this frame. Like we want to transport this story in the best way. And before that we thought that might be a good idea, but now we are on the location, everything is different, the light is coming in different. Why would we shoot this frame?
How do you gauge what to do and what not to do? And I want to kind of go, we can quickly go down. You know, do you say, oh, I want to work with this director? You know, do you meet, like, what's that whole process as you, before you sign on to something?
First, our jobs were free, and then we realized we got to eat. Then we started doing jobs to start paying the bills and get food into us, and realized we're like, but we still got to keep our aesthetic in making, we always say we're shooting the coolest shit. And to keep that feel and pick the right brands, because there was other brands we could just randomly have taken a big job, but it was such a boring job that we're like, no, let's do something that's lesser pay, way cooler, it's going to make us look better.
2 features ago, a guy from New Zealand came here, he looked on LinkedIn and saw me there, and he said, I want you to shoot my movie. I said, okay. You know, I mean, what are you going to say? You know, I mean, you know, so it's you never know where this stuff comes from, and it's like, you got to treat like we're talking about treating crew nicely and stuff. You have to be nice to everybody, because, I mean, on one movie that I was on, there was this kid that just kept coming up to me, and he was like, oh, you're so great, and I just like you, and blah, 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 blah. His name was Mo, and Mo was a PA, and I was nice to Mo. And the next movie I was on, Mo was the production manager. And he remembered me. And he brought me on that movie. And so you never know where the jobs are going to come from. You always have to do your best. You gotta treat every movie like it's the Oscar winner, and you gotta kiss a lot of frogs before you get a prince.
A lot of options now. HD, 2K, 4K, 8K, 6 is somewhere in there. You got other stuff.
Well, I think what you do is you steer it these days. You don't really, a lot of times you don't get to make the choice, but you can kind of say, it'd be better if we did this, or it'd be better if we did that.
For me, it's always very hard to decide what will be the best choice for the movie, you know, as I want to get the most input, know what the director wants, what locations we have, what it is, and then I try to make the very best decision for the project. Most of the time I'm right, but sometimes I thought, oh shit, like I should have gone with that one, you know?
The next movie I'll be doing, we'll be shooting complete 8K weapon, because I would love to shoot Alexa 6K, but the 8K weapon and what you can do in RAW and post and color is incredible. It's literally finally at a step where it's better than film. You can manipulate things a lot more. And I wish I grew up shooting film. I'm just a digital kid. But, but I will say, it's beautiful, the images. I've done a lot of testing, and it's pretty incredible what you can do with now.
One film I shot, we went down to LAPPG because they had a German expressionistic exhibition, and the director and I walked through and we looked at all the German expressionistic pictures and said, you know, I like this one, I don't like this one. When we did your film, what did I do? We talked for months. For
a long time.
Almost a year. I mean, we talked for a long time, and I said, you know, what do you think? What do you want?
I like how Chris Doyle actually haven't talked about it, that we cinematographers are like deluxe prostitutes, right? Because that guy might have like a wish or something that he's telling you, but you try to read their secret desires and make fulfill those. You know?
Yeah. The person getting the most questions is the DP. Like the director's there, they're getting a few questions there and there. The DP, like you're trying to film and they're like, hey, what about this? What about this? What about this? So you're filming, you're like, yes, wait, yes. And you're answering every question and solving every problem.
You run the crew.
Yeah.
You're a leader, but a great leader doesn't dictate. A great leader nurtures what people's natural talents are. When the cameras stop rolling, DP's job is only halfway done. We don't just work on the set. We work in the colors in the DI suite. So if we're locked out of the DI suite, we don't get to do half our job.
Yeah.
So I mean that's something I'm really fighting for, and I tell everybody I can, because it's so important for the cameraman to be in the color suite with the colorist.
I won't let a project go out without me coloring it.
Yeah.
I'm so crazy about it.
Yeah.
Because that's where you come to life.
Yeah.
But that was like with my experience when I moved to the US, because in Europe, like on commercials, it was like went without saying, you know, of course, was back in the film days, but like, you know, you go there, you prep, you shoot, next morning telescene, you know, where you at least do like, you know,
something
rough it in, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then I shot like my first very big commercial here, where then even, you know, like was Steadicam operating on it.
Yeah.
And there, like I was like asking when is my telescene session, and they were like looking as I come from a different planet.